We look at our educating or our ensuring data quality and equity as one of our core workshops and one of our core things. And I think Tammy and Asana, that might be the one that we did, that you came to. And boy, do I have to say it's developed more since then, right? We're trying to create more tools that people can take back. And so we developed this sort of framework, and it came out of some engagement with one of our other New York City members. Develop kind of framework to say, hey, how do you interrogate your instruments and figure out what their qualities are and what you need to do with them, right? When was it developed? Who was it developed by? When's the last time it was refreshed? What have you looked at in terms of content alignment lately, and what strategies could you use? Who's implementing this thing, and do they know do they even understand what they're looking at? That's off the cuff language, because of course they do, but these kind of we inherit these instruments and we use them and don't really have a clue what's going on internally or what information is generated. So, and I'm not saying that as a criticism, because that was me too, right? We thought, well, here's this instrument, we're using it. Well, keep using it, keep turning the crank. Well, slow down. What's this actually telling us? And those are fun conversations when you get into them. So I think we're getting better at framing how campuses can do that local work together in a way that doesn't feel like busy in compliance. We hope. I mean, of course, it's extra work, so there is that, but it helps you actually have a handle on what your data means and what you want to do with it. So that's good work. We love that. We love that.
You've been around 6 years now, formally. AAQEP, yes?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
What keeps you inspired, Mark? Just curious, because accreditation. The truth is, people are a little afraid of it. People recognize its value, but what keeps you going every day?
What keeps me going every day is, number one, the excellent work that my colleagues are doing educator preparation across the country. That's what keeps me going. Is there's such good work. They get so little credit for it and are so busy doing the work that it's hard to stop and say, okay, what is it that we're getting done here? So I think, if anything, what we're able to do is say, you know what, and this is going to sound, some people who approach accreditation as a compliance exercise or as a regulatory exercise, I say this is a celebration of what's getting done and a chance to figure out what needs to get done. And so what inspires me is, the folks that are doing this work and helping people learn to love and practice the teaching profession. That's beautiful work. And if we can come alongside and say, hey, we don't actually add anything. I use a chemical analysis or analogy. I say we're like a catalyst. I think having a good quality assurance and continuous improvement process actually helps you do what you're doing better and be more excited about it. But we're not the ones that add that. We don't add the quality. But if we help you to illuminate the quality, and take justifiable pride in your work and justifiable steps towards improvement and stronger engagement. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going on here, but another part of that inspiration is we've got a little line in our standards, and it if you'll bear with me for the 2-minute version of it, we were developing our standards, and a CUNY colleague of yours over at City College said, what's the biggest problem facing education today? What's the biggest thing we need to work on? And this was fall of 2017. People thought for a while, one person said, it doesn't serve all students equally well. It doesn't serve everyone equally well. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, if there's not something in our standards that addresses that, we might as well go home because we're not doing our job. This was the nature of that conversation, right? And so we have in our standards a line that says providers that are accredited are going to be engaged with their local school partners to help high-need schools and to reduce disparities in educational outcomes. Now, holy cow, but we weren't going to do what NCLB did and say, and by golly, you'll reduce it by 10% a year, so at 10% it's all gone. We know it doesn't work that way. But it says, and the thing is, if you look across the country at educator preparation programs, they're all doing exactly that. They're engaged with their local partners. They're trying to address school needs. So we gave a spot in the standards, but again, it's in that still developing, still learning part, not in the everybody do it the same way part, right? Mm-hmm. So by creating that space, I just read 2 quality assurance reports last week. One, a school in Minnesota that's doing great work in outreach to tribal communities. The other in just up the Hudson from Albany, without telling you where it was, but that's doing some great work with making sure they prepare their candidates for rural as well as urban and suburban placements. They're both doing great work. They're engaging with local school partners. They're helping make the world better, and our standards don't cause that to happen. But they say, don't just worry about compliance stuff. Tell that story. right? Tell that story. And and every time we tell our story, we actually believe it a little bit more, and we think of new ways to do it. So anyway, that's what inspires me is the work that people in teacher education are doing across the country to make this a better and more fair place.
Absolutely. And it's inspiring for those of us who are educators and work in areas. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And people who do podcasts, they inspire me too. So thank you for your work.
Thank you.